Hello and welcome to the Wrapped in Jamie crochet along. We are back with square 3, Goodbye Mama, and I'm going to guide you in this video through the pattern and how to crochet each round. So let's get started. So we start with a magic circle. This is how I like to do it. I just make a cross, insert the hook under the one side, pull the yarn through and pull again through the loop. Now I like to start with a bigger loop instead of making a chain in a chain 1 to get up. So, but if you want to do that, that's up to you. So for round 1 we single crochet, chain 2 4 times. So this is the first, again single crochet, chain 2 second, single crochet, chain 2 third, and one more, single crochet and chain 2. Now we pull the ring tight and slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made, and that's why I want to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit looser. You may have noticed, I do like to work over my tail because I don't like to weave it in. So for round 2 we're going up with a chain and then insert the hook into the chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 2 and another single crochet into the chain 2 space, and that will always be our corner. So from here on, the corner is always made in the chain 2 space, and it's always a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Then we find the first single crochet, okay, let's see, it's this one, and we single crochet into that, and then we're in the next corner where we have another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then again single crochet and a corner, and then 2 more times single crochet and a corner, and in the corner we have single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and the last time. And now we just need to find the first stitch again. So you could use a stitch marker. If you had marked it before, it would be in here like this, and by doing so you can see that this bit is the chain we went up with into to get the height for the next round, and this is the first single crochet that we made into the corner, and we're going to slip stitch again to close the round. So that is round 2, and we're continuing with round 3. Again we have the chain 1 to get up to the next round, and single crochet, chain 2 into the corner. In round 3 let's just check the stitch count. So you should have 1, 2, 3 stitches on every side, and if you did like did it with me, then you will have that. So we start with a single crochet in the back loop only, BLO, a single crochet through both loops, and back loop only. And that's it for round 3. So you can repeat that. Single crochet in the back loop, both loops, back loop only, again the corner, back loop, both loops, back loop, corner, and then we are already on the 4th side, where we have another back loop, both loops, and back loop in the last stitch, and then we are back in the 1st stitch. So that is our round 3, and I will be back for round 4. Round 4 is quite an easy round as well, and I would actually say that this is, compared to what you have done with square 1 and 2, if you have done them already, I think that you will find that this square is quite an easy one. So we have 5 stitches on each side plus the 2 corner stitches, and we have a single crochet in the back loop as the first stitch, and then 3 single crochet. When you start the round, make sure you find the first stitch, which sometimes likes to hide behind one of those, or behind the second single crochet of the corner. So always pull to the side a little bit, which you may notice me doing. So the last stitch is in the back loop only again. And then we're already in the corner. And then you just repeat, see, just going to the side, single crochet in the back loop, 3 single crochet, single crochet in the back loop into the last stitch, and then the corner again. So repeat that, and then slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, the first single crochet we made into the corner, and that will already be your round 4. Round 5 is our first round with a little bit of action. So we start again with a chain 1 and a corner, and then make sure you find the first stitch. We'll make a single crochet into the back loop of that first stitch, then another single crochet through both loops, and now we make a treble in the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below. So that is 2 rounds below, 1, 2, see the front loop here, we go into that treble, into that front loop, I mean, with a treble. Yeah, I know what twice is a treble. Then we skip the stitch behind the treble that we just made, and the next stitch is a single crochet, and then we have a treble again. So again, yarn over twice, find the front loop, 2 rounds below, and go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. So we skip the stitch behind the treble we just made, and then another single crochet and a single crochet in the back loop only of the last stitch, and the corner single crochet. So repeat that on all 3 other sides. Back loop, single, treble in the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below, single, treble as before, single, back loop. You should have 9 stitches altogether, including the 2 single crochets from the corner. So that is your round 5. Round 6. Chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the corner space, find the first stitch, 2 single crochet, then a treble, so yarn over twice, into the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below, 1, 2 rounds below. There's the front loop. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. And then we have a DC behind and below the treble that we made in the previous round. So we find the loops that are available for us behind the treble. So we work in the back, and now we work in the front again with a single crochet. And this is the middle of the side, so we work in reverse order. We started with 2 single, treble, DC behind, and that's the middle, single. So now we go DC behind, treble in the front loop, 1, 2 rounds below, and 2 single to finish the side, 1 and 2, and then we're already in the corner. You see, nothing super spectacular, easy stitches. Just repeat around the other 3 sides and close with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the corner. You should have 11 sides, 11 stitches on each side, including the 2 single crochets from the corner. Round 7 is also an easy round. We have a bit of variety in the stitches that we work, but it's still a very easy round, which we start with a chain 1 and the corner, which I did when I was talking. So now we do 2 single crochet, and then we have a treble again into the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below, 1, 2. There it is. That's where we work our treble in. So we work in the front of our work, and then we work in the back of our project with a double crochet behind and below the treble from the previous round. Now we have 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and you said the middle single crochet marks the middle of the side, so we go in reverse order again with a double crochet behind the treble from the previous round, and then a treble into the front loop 1, 2 rounds below. And we end the side as we started with 2 single crochet. And then we're already in the corner. On this side, well, on each of those sides you should have 13 stitches, including the 2 single crochet of each corner on this side. So repeat around on the other 3 sides and then slip stitch into the single crochet of the corner, into the first single crochet of the corner. And that's already round 7. Round 8 starts as all the other rounds with a chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the corner, and then a single crochet in the back loop only, 2 single crochet, and then you see we worked a treble in the previous round. Now we work a DCBB, a double crochet behind and below that treble from the previous round. Then a single crochet, and our next stitch is a front post treble around the treble we made 3 rounds below. So 1, 2, 3. So we made it 3 rounds below. It looks like it's only 2, but we made it 3 rounds below. Okay, this stitch is a checkpoint for you, and it is a single crochet that should fall into the second single crochet of the 3 single crochet group from the previous round. We skipped 1 stitch because we worked a front post treble, and then in the second single crochet from the 3 single crochet group we make our next single crochet. So that's the middle of the side, our checkpoint, and from here we make all the stitches in reverse order. So we go around the treble with a front post treble again, just the next one. We skip the stitch behind, we have another single crochet, and then there is a DC behind and below the treble from the previous round. See, just like here, and then another 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and a single crochet in the back loop only of the last stitch, and then we're back in the corner. In this round you should have 15 stitches, which you will have if your checkpoint is correct and you do all the stitches. So just repeat on the other 3 sides and then slip stitch into the top loops of the first single crochet we made into the corner, and then your round 8 is finished. We start round 9 after the chain 1 and the corner with 5 single crochet. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then a front post around the second treble we made. That's the front post 3 rounds below from round 6. After that we have a double crochet behind the front post treble from the previous round. Just finding the right loops. Double crochet, and then we are in the middle again. So there is a single crochet in the same single crochet between those two front post trebles from the previous round. Again, that is the middle of the side, and we do the stitches in reverse order, which means we have another DC behind and below, and then another front post treble around the middle one of those three trebles. Then we stitch we skip the stitch behind the front post treble, single crochet in the next, and 4 more. 4 and 5. So that will bring us to the corner. On this side you will have 17 stitches, including the corner, the 2 corner stitches. So you see, very easy. Repeat on the other 3 sides, and then again, as usual, slip stitch into the first stitch of the corner, and then your round 9 will be done. Round 10 may look complicated, but it really is not. There are a few stitches. You just need to be aware of your stitch count and where to place your stitches. We start with a single crochet. Now we have chain 2. Now from here we make a treble into the front loop of the stitch 2 rounds below. So we skip 1 stitch for the chain 2. This is our next stitch. We go 1, 2 rounds below, and there is our front loop. It is actually the only front loop that's available, so that comes in handy in finding it. So we make a treble, and then again chain 2. For each chain 2 we only skip 1 stitch. Because we have the treble as well, we skip 3 stitches altogether. 1, 2, 3 stitches altogether. The next stitch is a single crochet. Then we make a front post around the treble from 3 rounds below, and then again a DC behind and below, a double crochet behind and below. That is behind the front post treble from the previous round. So now we have 3 stitches here in the middle, between the front posts from the previous round, and we single crochet in each of those. So the second should go in that single crochet, so that is a kind of a checkpoint again for you. So you have the 3 single crochet group between the front post trebles, and we go in reverse order, or we have started already. We'll make a double crochet behind and below the front post treble from the previous round. See how we go backwards? That's the double crochet, and now we have a front post treble again. Now we skip 1 stitch, make sure it's the right one. this is a front post, this is the stitch behind the one we just made. Our next stitch is a single crochet, and it should be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th from the corner. So that's a way to check that you're in the right stitch. We have a two chains, or chain 2, then yarn over twice and treble in the front loop 2 rounds below, and again chain 2. And our last stitch, 1, 2, 3 skipped. Last stitch is a single crochet in the last stitch of the side, and the first single crochet of the corner into the chain 2 space. So quick recap: single crochet, chain 2, treble, 2 rounds below, chain 2, and it doesn't matter that it looks a bit warped. Skip 3 stitches behind, single crochet, front post treble, DC behind, 3 single crochet, DC behind, front post treble, single crochet, chain 2, treble, chain 2, skip 3 stitches, single crochet and a corner. Repeat this for the other 3 sides and then close with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. We are in round 11, which we start as usual with a chain 1 single crochet, chain 2 single crochet, find the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet. As we made the chains and the treble, so we DCBB, we DC behind and below in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So this is a chain, and this is the single crochet after the chain, in which we make a single crochet again, a DC behind, that is a DC behind the front post treble from the previous round, and then a single crochet again, and that is above the front post treble from 2 rounds below. Our next stitch is a front post treble around this inner front post treble from 3 rounds below, from round 8. Then we skip the next stitch that's behind this front post treble, and now we make a chain 2. So the chain 2 replaces the single crochet, and then again a front post treble. The chain 2 is the middle of the side, and remember we had single crochets before that marked the middle of the side. Now it's the chain 2. So we have the front post treble, so we have to skip 3 stitches. This front post treble, chain 2, and this front post treble. So we skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Our next stitch goes in here and is a single crochet, then a double crochet behind the front post treble from the previous round, double crochet behind and below, and another single crochet, and then we are at this group again of chain 2, treble and chain 2, and we have DC's double crochet behind and below those. just to close those gaps. 1, 2, 3, and to have these in the front. So after those 3 we have 2 stitches left, which will be worked into single crochets, and then the corner single crochet. So all together on this side you will have 21 stitches. So just repeat that on the other 3 sides and close with a slip stitch into the first stitch of the corner. Round 12 again is quick and easy. The only thing is we have to be mindful and careful where to place our stitches. So after the corner we find the first stitch and we start with 8 single crochet. 3, 4, 5. So the 8th single crochet should bring you just before the last treble, so there is 1 more to go. And we make a front post treble around this middle one here. Now we have 3 stitches that we skipped in the previous round, and we make a DCBB but only in the front loop of those stitches. So 3 DCBB in the front loops only, behind the front post treble, chain 2, front post treble. Only the front loop. There we go. And we are already starting to work reverse, which means we have 1 more front post treble. Around the middle stitch here. Then we skip the stitch behind the front post treble, and we end the side in the same way as we started it, which is with 8 single crochet. So I'm number 6 here, 7 and 8, and then we're already in the corner. So a very easy round, 8 single crochet, front post treble, DC behind but only in the front loops, another front post treble and 8 single crochet. Repeat this all the way around and close with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the corner, and that is your round 12 done. Round 13 has many different stitches, so we just go through them carefully, step by step. We start with 5 single crochet, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the next stitch is a back post treble around the treble between the chain 2s. So we insert the hook so that we go around the back. So back to front and then front to back. And just be careful not to tangle those chain 2 stitches too much, because these will form the cross. So now we skip the stitch behind the one we just worked, and we have another 2 single crochet. Now we're working a front post treble again around the outer one of those 3 front post treble groups. Our next stitch is a DC behind and below. That's behind and below the front post treble from the previous round. Then we have those 3 stitches, the 3 DCBBs, which we made in the front loops only. So now we are making half trebles into the back loops. So yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull through 2 loops, pull through all 3 loops, and twice more. In the back loop only, pull through 2, pull through 3. And the last one, yarn over twice, in the back loop, pull through 2, and pull through 3. So we're here, and see, we worked behind those stitches, and our next stitch is a DCBB again, but through both loops of the stitch that we skipped when we worked this front post treble in the previous round. And now we're going to the front of our work again with a front post treble. So yarn over twice and work around the outer front post treble from the previous round. We skip this stitch behind the front post treble and make 2 single crochet. Then we are at the cross, so we insert the hook from the back to front and back to the back. So back to front, front to back, and make a treble. Again, careful not to tangle those chains too much. We have to skip the stitch behind this back post treble, which is this one, and we end around, or we end the side with 5 single crochet. So 5 single crochet, and we're back in the corner. Repeat this on all 3 sides and slip stitch into the first of the single crochets in the corner, and that will be your round 13. Round 14 is the round where we do the single crochet in the 3rd loops, or if you find that too difficult or too straining, you can do back post single crochet instead. So now I've seen someone who has shown how to find and work those 3rd loops a little bit easier, and the way she showed it was to go from the back and catch this part of the stitch, because that is the same as the back loop. And I want to just show you again. So go to the front from the back and then catch this leg. It is the same as the front loop. Let's just do it one more time. So going from the back to the front and catching that leg. That is the 3rd loop. And it's quite an easy way to work the 3rd loop, or if your stitches are loose enough, you can just go into the 3rd loop like that. If you do back post stitches, start from the beginning, choose one, do either 3rd loops or back post single crochet, and just work all the way around, and then close with a slip stitch into the 1st stitch. In this round it's very important to check your stitch count. You should have ended round 13 with 25 stitches, including those corner stitches, corner single crochets. Round 14 you will have 25 single crochet in the third loops plus the 2 single crochets in the corner. If you read and follow the written instructions for round 15, just read them carefully so that you're not missing stitches or missing repeats. In round 15 we start with 1 single crochet, then we have a single crochet in the back loop only of the next stitch, then 3 single crochet, then again 1 in the back loop only. And this is our repeat for 5 times. Single crochet in the back loop, 3 single crochet in the back loop. That's the complete repeat. So again, single crochet in the back loop only, 3 single crochet, and then single crochet in the back loop only again. That's the second time we do the repeat. Back loop only, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3, back loop only. The next repeat, back loop only, 3 single, 1, 2, and 3, back loop only, and one more repeat, back loop only, 3 single, 1, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 single crochet in the back loop to complete the repeat, and there is 1 single crochet left before the corner, and here we are in the corner. Yeah, so just repeat this, very easy. Just need to make sure that you have those 2 single crochet in the back loop only side by side, so you have 5 repeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats of single crochet in the back loop, 3 single crochet in the back loop, and start and finish with 1 single crochet. So check your stitch count. It should be 29 stitches altogether, including the 2 stitches in the corners. And that will be your round 15. So we are in round 16, and in round 16 we have 1 special stitch, which is a treble 2 together. But first we start with 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just to check, you should be, the next stitch is this one, and that should be the middle stitch of the 3 single crochet group we did between the 2 single crochets in the back loops only. So for the treble 2 together, from the current stitch we go 2 back, 1, 2, and 1 round below. So there is the front loop. So yarn over twice, go into the front loop, 2 behind and 1 round below, and work the treble as normal through 2, and we just leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice again, and then go from the current stitch 1, 2 ahead and 1 round below. So that is the next available front loop. So we do the treble, 2 together. And we skip the stitch behind this treble 2 together, which is this one, and start making 4 single crochets in the next. And this is your repeat, the treble 2 together and then 4 single crochet. That is the repeat, and repeat that 5 times, always in the front loop. So you go back in the front loop to one side, that's back, and then the next leg, yarn over twice, will be done in the front loop ahead. And then through all 3 at the end. Skip the stitch behind, start with a 4 single crochet in the next. Not 4 single crochet in the next stitch, but start in the next stitch to make 4 single crochets. So we've got 4 again, yarn over twice, going back into the loop, front loop behind, leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice again, go into the front loop ahead, and finish the treble 2 together. Then again, skip the stitch behind, 4 single crochet, 3 and 4, and again a treble 2 together, front loop behind, leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice, front loop ahead. Skip the stitch behind, 4 single crochet, and 4, and our last repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the middle one is our last. It is our next stitch, so that's correct. Always check in between to make sure that you are at the right position. Leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice, go into the front loop ahead, treble 2 together, skip the stitch behind, and we end with 4 single crochet. And then the corner single crochet. So that's it. We've got 5 repeats of double treble and 4 single crochet, starting with 4, repeat, 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 and then you're back in the corner. So finish this all the way around, and then we meet for round 17. We are in round 17, where we start as normal with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the corner after the chain 1, and then we have 5 single crochet. 4 and 5. So normally we would just make a DCBB, double treble behind and below the treble 2 together from the previous round, and we do that, but we go through the back loop and then into those stitches. Yep. Okay, so the DC behind and below through the back loop, and then 4 single crochet. And we repeat this through the back loop into the top loops from the round 2 below. Skip the front, of course, and again 4 single crochet, and repeat the same all over again until we are back at the end. Let's do it together. 2, 3, and 4 through the back loop into the top loops. Skip this front stitch for single crochet, and last time going through the middle of the stitch, encompassing the back loop and the top loops. And here at the end we've got 5 single crochet again. And then we are at the corner. So, see, quite easy. Repeat on the other 3 sides and slip stitch to the first single crochet to close the round, and we meet again in round 18. In round 18 we have a special stitch again. So we make the corner, single crochet, and then we start with 4 single crochet. Our next stitch is one of those special stitches. It's a treble 2A 1B, which means from the working stitch here, from our current stitch, we go 1 2 ahead and 1 round below. So in this 1 round below we have the front loop that is left from us working the DCBB through the back loop, but we also have this diagonal stitch here from this side from the first leg of the treble 2 together that we had. So we work, twice, and we work through those 2 stitches here, and that's our treble 2A 1B. Now we skip the stitch behind, which is this one, and we have 3 single crochet. Then you see this square is all about crosses. So we have this really big cross, we have this tiny cross, and now we have those Scottish kind of crosses as well, which we need to finish. So we have made 3 legs, and we make a 4th leg. We go through the same loops that we did before and have that treble 2 behind and 1 round below. So that is the treble 2B 1B, because we went 2 stitches back and 1 round below. It's a mixture between 1 and 2 rounds, because we have the 1 round below where we have the front loop, and we have 2 rounds below where we have the leg of the double treble 2 together. So let's keep it, let's say it is 1 round below. The treble 2A 3 single crochet treble 2B is a repeat. So we repeat the whole block. So we have a treble again, same stitches. Oops, let's go in here, And now we not only do we have one stitch to skip, but we skip 2 stitches, this and this stitch. So we skip it in the back, 1, 2, and then we make our 3 single crochet. And now we have to go back again to complete the cross. So yarn over twice, go through the same front loops as before, make a treble, oops, one more, and then again we skip this stitch, but later on we also skip this stitch because we make another repeat starting with a treble. And now we skip those 2 stitches and we have 3 single crochet again. So the middle one of those 3, the second, should be directly above the front loops or directly into the DCBB from the previous round. Okay, and again going backwards through the front loops, and we start the cross again. So we go forward through the front loops, and we skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Oops. So 1, so the second should be here, which it is, so that's perfect. Now again we go back, same front loops as before, make a treble, and then another repeat starting with a treble through the front loops. Skipping 2 stitches, 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and going back, same front loops with a treble, 2B, 1B, and oops, only through 2, and another 2. So now we're at the end of the side, so we only skip 1 stitch because we only made 1 stitch in the front, which is this treble, and we end with 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochet like we started, and the corner. So now we've finished those crosses. Just do this on the other 3 sides, and I do that too, and I meet you after you slip stitched into the first stitch for round 19. So we're almost done, and in round 19 we're just going to do a few finishing touches. So after the corner we start with 5 single crochet, 4 and 5, and now we have a HDC around, so we go around, so we yarn over and then we go into the loops, encompassing all that is in between with when we pull the yarn through, and then we go through all 3 loops on the hook, and then we have 3 single crochet again. And those 3 single crochet are the first part of the pattern repeat. So the next part is a special stitch which I call the double anchor. So to start with, we yarn over and we DC in the first part, in the first loop of the stitch behind, as if we would for a DC. We'll leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again, and then insert the hook into the second set of loops, almost make a DC, and now we go through all 3. So that is the first part of the double anchor. The second part of the double anchor is that we make a front post single crochet through this bar. So you see those 2, let me do it again. You see those 2 loops here, 2 sets of loops, and when we insert the hook front to back and then again back to front, we have this little bar, and that's what we want to catch to anchor this with a single crochet. That is the second part of the double anchor. So we have the 3 single crochet, then the DC2 together as the first part of the double anchor, and the second part of the double anchor is the front post single crochet around this bar. And then we start again with the pattern repeat. So 3 single crochet, and those 3 single crochet always fall between the trebles that we made in the previous round. So again, double anchor with the first leg of the DC together into the first set of loops, and the second leg into the second behind the 2 trebles from the previous round, then through all 3 loops. And the second part is that we go front to back and back to front to catch this bar here, this horizontal bar for the front post single crochet. Again, 3 single crochet, then the DC2 together as our first part of the double anchor, and the front post single crochet as the second part of the double anchor. And 2 more times. 1, 2, 3 single crochet, then the DC behind, DC2 together behind the treble from the previous round, and the front post single crochet to complete the double anchor. Last time. 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and now we just HDC around again. And then we end with another 5 single crochet. 3, 4, and come on, 5. And then we're back in the corner. So at the end of this round you should have 37 stitches on each side, and round 19 is your last round in the square if you are working the border. So round 20 is the first round of the border, and this will be your last round if you are working the border. If you say you don't want to do the border, then your next round will be round 20, and in this round you work single crochets in the third loop as you did in round 14. Now if you find the single crochets too hard to do, you can either do them as I've shown in round 14, or you can do back post single crochet, and you can do that in with any color, or you could do this in a different color. I like to keep the inside squares all in one color and only have the borders in a different color if I choose to have the border in another color than I have the inside square. So when you've done all three other sides, or 4 sides altogether, then you slip stitch into the first single crochet of this corner, and then either continue with the border or work your round 20 in the third loops. So it's either the end or the beginning. Round 20 will be the end of the square if you don't do the border, and it will be the beginning of the border if you are choosing to work it. So go ahead and finish those 3 rounds, and then whichever way you go, your inside square will be finished either after this round or after round 20. And I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed this pattern.